particular, I want to thank Madam Siuling, who yesterday even sent me a bouquet of flowers. I'm touched. Thank you very much. For a new PAP Prime Minister, and supposedly one who has a lot of experience in managing policies and ministries, and now wanting to seek a mandate, the PAP has confused voters during this election campaign. In fact, they have run a flip-flop campaign. Go ahead, go start. Go ahead, go start. And now, belakang pusing. We are now 8 days into a 9-day campaign, but the PAP has not communicated its policy options to bring the cost of living down. Why? Because the PAP does not have any clear message to give Singaporeans in the first place. The issues for this election are: what are the policy options for 1, a post-financial crisis situation, and 2, for an environment of structural unemployment that jointly have been making life difficult for Singaporeans over the last 5 years. Have any of you heard anything concrete from the PAP so far? We, the Workers' Party, want to address these concerns and have come up with specific and concrete proposals to debate the PAP in Parliament. A general election in Singapore provides voters an opportunity to see the team that will debate the PAP in action. The Workers' Party wants to debate these issues with the PAP, and for all of you to hear what we have to say on your behalf. But does the PAP want to debate these issues? All the PAP has done is to publish a short pictorial document of motherhood sentences and then chooses to ignore any challenges to it. When challenged, the PAP's reply is that it has delivered on its promises. Not true. Where is the restoration in our CPF cuts? Especially when the PAP says the economy is now very good. Instead, the only thing the PAP have been saying so far is that the PAP has built a system that works, and they have the people with the experience to work the system, and that a dominant PAP is needed and must be there to hold that system. What the PAP is saying is that without the PAP, Singapore as a whole will fail. What do you think it means? It means that the system that the PAP had introduced is fragile, weak, easily subject to failure once the PAP is not there anymore. What kind of system is this? What has the PAP been doing all these years? Building things that cannot work without them. This is why the Workers' Party is contesting this election, to ensure that an all-PAP system does not put Singapore and Singaporeans at risk. There must be more to Singapore than the PAP. But the PAP saying if there are more than 3 opposition members in Parliament, they cannot handle it. So they are asking Singaporean voters not to send in more opposition MPs because the PAP can't handle it. But if they cannot handle it, if they cannot handle the debate that opposition MPs can bring to generate improvement in policies, then why are the PAP ministers paying themselves high ministerial salaries? Do you think they deserve such high salaries? From the comments that the candidate Lee Hsien Loong from the PAP's AMK GRC made yesterday, this is what he is trying to tell all of you. that he cannot handle a larger number of opposition MPs, and that his time will be taken up to fix opposition MPs and buy the voter support, and that he will not have time to think up long-term programs and policies, but be bogged down with short-term issues. It is very surprising to learn that a new Prime Minister, seeking a mandate in a general election, his first general election as the Prime Minister, as the leader of his party, is unable to handle opposition MPs in Parliament through debate, but instead will spend time fixing them. Proper parliamentary behavior in the first world countries is to debate opposition MPs and not to fix them. Fixing is what they do in third world countries. But these kinds of statements are nothing new from the PAP. I tell you, all these remarks are aimed to camouflage the fact that the PAP's election campaign has no clear message to address the fallout from structural unemployment. So it is no surprise at all that we have not heard about the important things. Nothing from the PAP regarding CPF. We have not heard anything from them about lowering costs and improving the standard of living. In fact, we have not heard any solutions at all from the PAP, apart from insisting how good they are and how other countries are following the PAP and its policies. This is trumpet blowing by the PAP, saying that they are good, that they are the best. Let me assure you, none of these countries apply PAP policies wholesale. Instead, they look at PAP policies and try to improve on them. This is what the Workers' Party wants to do, scrutinize PAP policies and improve them for now as opposition, and in the medium to long term to implement policies that make life better for Singaporeans as government. The truth is, Singapore under the PAP government is not so great. As you heard earlier, a recent Media Watch organization has put Singapore 140th out of 167 countries for having low media freedom. The PAP campaign, or the lack of a PAP campaign, have done Singaporeans a great disservice. Being the party that will likely form the government, the PAP over the last 8 days should have acted with more responsibility. It did not. As a result of the PAP behavior, the people have not been exposed to a debate over policy issues in this general elections in the manner and volume that the people truly deserve. The truth is, the CPF doesn't work well, the healthcare system is too expensive, and the HDB has a lot of emerging problems. So the PAP decided to abandon their campaign message, dump their manifesto, and play to the politics of distraction. I think the reason why the PAP did this was because the PAP was nicely whacked on the first day of the campaign when the Workers' Party compared both parties' manifesto and showed how mediocre the PAP manifesto was. Today, 8 days into the campaign, I once again whacked the PAP and its policies. On 6th of May, all of us together get to whack the PAP's policies at the polls and put some Workers' Party MPs in Parliament, so as to ensure that in the next general elections, they stay with the issues and not play up the politics of distraction. You have a choice. Vote for the Workers' Party.